David Barnes, the Bath prop forward, recently announced his retirement from the game as a player, but in his role as chairman of the Rugby Players Association in England, he's still heavily involved in the sport he served with such distinction. Earlier this month, he embarked on one of his most challenging ventures yet.
I think Kilimanjaro is a challenge that is accessible for a lot of people, but it's still a challenge. It's 6,000 metres, it's nearly 20,000 feet, so people believe it is a walk in the park, are slightly mistaken. It's something where you do not know how altitude is going to affect you, and if you do get hit by altitude sickness and the debilitating effects of that, it becomes a very real challenge, and something that a lot of people can't actually achieve. It's the highest mountain in Africa. It's one of the famous 7 summits around the world, and but it's something that we can all give a go and do our best, and working together we'll hopefully make it.
One of the 2 charities hoping to benefit from the trek is Help for Heroes, set up to support injured members of the armed forces.
2007, in June, I was serving in Iraq. On one horrible night, I was shot in the spine by a sniper, which left me paralysed from the waist down to start with. After going through various hospitals and operations, a few months later I was able to walk for the first time after doctors said that I'd never walk again. Help for Heroes has helped me out immensely. They've helped out with education and all sorts, really, and without them I probably wouldn't have got as far as I've got today.
And it's non-political, it's not about if you agree or disagree with the war, it's simply about helping those soldiers and men and women, and that for me is very important.
And so, after months of arduous training, 41 intrepid souls left England for Tanzania. Joining Barnes was another former player who had more reason than most to appreciate the purpose of the trip.
I played at the Falcons and then a couple of good years down at Northampton Saints. I just moved up to Sale Sharks, and it was March the 12th, 2000, which is an ominous date for me.
Caught at the bottom of a ruck, Andy Blyth dislocated a disc in his back, and at one point it was feared he might never walk again.
I'm not sure if other sports would react in the same way, but that family sort of attitude of rugby and stuff is it's humbling at times, and it's really nice, and you think you're on your own at times, and you look around and it's they're always there.
While the RFU's Injured Players Foundation and the RPA Benevolent Fund have played huge roles in his recovery, much of the credit goes down to Andy himself. Kilimanjaro just the latest challenge he's taken in his ever-improving stride.
If someone had asked me even 2 or 3 years ago, what about going climbing Kilimanjaro, I'd have probably laughed in their face and stuff, but it's obviously here and it's real now, and I don't know whether I'm relatively confident and stuff, and I was hoping I haven't bitten off more than I can chew, but I'll find out in the next few days.
And as soon as they arrived, the missionaries set to work, spreading the word at a local school.
We're going to Kilimanjaro tomorrow, but another part of it is giving something back to the local community, and rugby is a great game, and if we can spread the word and help these guys out and introduce them to rugby, then all the better.
Hands in the air!
It's a wonderful occasion. Here the children have never seen a rugby ball before.
Too many smiling faces.
Yeah, very welcoming school as well, so very honoured to be here as well. Barnes, wanted to do some scrums in practice, some line-out moves, but I said, Barnes, just keep it nice and simple.
I'm not sure my Swahili's up to it, but we're getting there. Ready? You all ready? Down low, down low, down low. 3, 2, 1.
So, a rewarding day for all, but thoughts soon began to turn to the more daunting challenge that lay ahead, one that would test the mental and physical strength of every member of the team.
Now we're ready to go. Join us next week to see how we get on Mount Kilimanjaro.
Last week we caught up with former Bath prop David Barnes as he and his band of intrepid explorers set off on one of their biggest challenges, the ascent of Africa's Mount Kilimanjaro.
Okay, here we are at the start of our 7-day trek, the Rongai Gate, so first step of many.
Among the 41-strong group were former England World Cup winner Mark Regan and Andy Blyth, who 11 years earlier had feared he might never walk again following serious injury. His determination to take on such a challenge is testament to the strength of the human spirit.
Oh, Damon was brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
Quite an easy walk up through the forest, in which we saw some Columbus monkeys, so that was quite exciting. And we got some great views on the way up, looking back over to Kenya. And then just as we came to the first base camp, we also saw the peak of the mountain, which was quite exciting and also quite daunting, realising how much further we've got to go.
Overall plan for today should take about 8 hours all in, so it's now just come up to 8. Assuming we get squared away and out, we should be in camp for about 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Today is about getting to know new people, so if we need support on the last couple of days, it's going to be there for us.
With Nick, we have Mr. Barnes.
Yes!
For most of the group, this was a trek into the unknown. Over the coming days, their mental and physical reserves would be pushed to the limit, as would their patience, particularly those climbing with Mark Regan.
Barnesy sweat patch, standard.
Standard, Bab.
Battle 6, Barnesy, give us an arm. Right, yes.
With the porters having already gone on ahead, the group arrived to a welcome dinner. A satisfactory day 1 completed.
Got into camp tonight, beautiful camp. We've got Kilimanjaro one way, we've got Mwenzi Peak behind me, and we're looking forward to having a bit of tea tonight, and then a sort of later start tomorrow, and a bit of a chance to recharge the batteries.
And as darkness descended on the camp, so did the realisation of the task ahead.
We're heading further up the mountain tomorrow, and as you go further up, altitude will affect your sleeping, and it will make it a lot harder to sleep, and you need as much energy as you can now for summit night. So very important we get a good night's sleep tonight, and it's another long day tomorrow, so a good challenge ahead, but one, as I say, a very, very worthwhile cause.
And you got to keep warm.
Night, Andy.
Night, John boy.
Crew seem to be happy and ready to go. Some of them are suffering a little bit with the altitude, which is only normal, nothing we can't deal with. Cracking day, plenty of weather, everybody's happy, slapping on the sunscreen, good to go.
I jogged up there this morning just for a warm-up and loosen off.
With most of the team now at an altitude their bodies had never experienced, the conditions began to take their toll.
It's sort of been quite a hard day. A lot of people have been affected by altitude sickness. I was one of them this morning, so sort of you wake up and the best way to describe it is almost seasickness. It's hard to eat, very, very tired, no energy, sort of sickness. And then as the day's gone on, I've felt better, but you can see throughout the camp that a lot of people are starting to be affected by it.
Some people have had an uncomfortable night where the temperature did drop down to below freezing, and some are having challenges with the altitude, which is only to be expected. So we're going to drop from where we are now about 400 metres, so it'll be a lot more comfortable for the climbers.
Feeling good. We're about to trek down now. There's been no headaches as such yet, but it may come on very suddenly. But thoroughly enjoying it. Now we get over the corner, maybe I'll see the summit. Looking forward to it.
Despite the threat of altitude sickness, spirits remained high.
How's he doing it? How's he doing that? Just great.
So Nick Basu, best guide on the mountain. Who's the best climber here today?
David Bowers.
Thank you. Yusuf, you've seen everyone today. Everyone walking. Who's the best you've seen?
Andy. David Bowers.
Thank you. Sitting here with Alex, top guy on the mountain. Alex, who's the best climber of the day?
David Bowers.
Thank you.
Coming for you.
Having completed the 4th day of their ascent and the summit now within reach, it became apparent that things were going to get a whole lot tougher. And, as we'll find out later in the show, it all proves too much for some as the team makes its final assault. Day 5 on Kilimanjaro, and while the spirits remain willing, have the bodies been weakened by their earlier exertions?
An hour ago I was like shivering in my tent and thinking, what the hell am I doing here? And I found yesterday particularly tough. It was the first day I really did feel it. But not far to go, mate. Not far to go.
As the team completed its final walk before the summit, word got round that all was not well with one of the groups.
Pretty amazing scenes earlier on. We had a group came in a couple of hours behind everyone else, had an ill climber with them. But they got to camp, and as they came to camp, every climber clapped them in. It was very, very, very emotional. It was a good job. A lot of sunglasses being worn, and but it shows how close the group are. Unfortunately, the climber was quite ill, and he's now being quickly taken off the mountain. He's put in a stretcher and run down to a lower altitude. In terms of the group, obviously the word's gone round now, and it's a pretty emotional place.
It takes a lot to make me cry. Oh, I cried.
With the final push being made in the middle of the night, there was a last opportunity for a few hours' rest. But sleep proved elusive for many.
It's going to be a very, very tough indeed. To be told to go very, very slowly. Try and have as less as you possibly can in your rucksack. But mate, you just got to get yourself mentally tuned for this. It's basically, for me, it's basically going out for a big, huge game, and one that you got to perform in. For me, get him mental right, get him meant to think correctly under pressure, and then just go out and be selfish and just get to the top in any shape or form you possibly can. So I'll get to the top. That's what I got to do. Time to go. Good morning.
Poorly.
Onward, onward.
Poorly. Tired. Anxious. Nervous. Good word.
Cold morning, really cold morning, but quite good spirits. Everyone's had some food, which is good. 6-8 hours ahead now to the top. Yeah, we're going to push each other all the way. It's going to be good.
Teams are getting ready to set off up to Uhuru Peak, the highest point of the mountain, the highest single freestanding mountain in the world, 5,895 metres. Yesterday a lot of people went through a lot of challenges, and today certainly will be the test of any pre-arrival preparation they were able to do at home and what they've done in the last 5 days. It'll certainly test their stamina and endurance, but everybody's in positive spirits, and in the next 6 to 7 hours we should hopefully be at the summit for sunrise.
Lost for words. Got up this morning well, 11 o'clock last night, pitch black, frozen, shivering. Hand on heart, thought, I'm not sure whether I'm going to make this. The guys and the guides, just, I am lost. Just awesome, just completely awesome. As you can see, just overwhelmed. I'm really proud of everyone and everything is for. I'm never doing it again. No chance.
From a group of 41, 37 made it to the summit. Those who missed out made full recoveries and can be equally proud of their efforts, with more than £100,000 already raised for the charities involved.
To rally round Andy Blyth and to support him and get him to the top of nearly a 6,000 metre peak is something very special, and that's what's great about rugby. It's about people coming together, not just watching the game, but there's a very much community spirit within rugby, and that's what we saw very much over the last 7 days.